All right, we're just now getting the new project, which is the Chevy 6500, 160-inch cab to axle. It's huge. It's a long truck. We're getting it pulled in the shop right now. I'm just gonna kind of look at it. I'm not gonna jump in anything too fast. I'm gonna test fit the wheels that we got for it, make sure they fit the lug pattern, kind of look at a few things in the front end. So I'll get it up on jack stands to do that. And then pull some measurements on the bed. I'm gonna pull some measurements on the frame and just kind of look at everything, kind of feel it out. Our plan here is to basically build this truck into like a hauler. It's not like tow truck or anything like that. We're planning on putting more like off-road vehicles on this thing, like recreational vehicles on the back of this truck. Nothing, it's not gonna have a rolled back or anything. We're probably just gonna take a flatbed, put a dovetail on it, build some sort of ramps for it, and basically all we're going after is a winch and a big flat surface and a big long truck with a lot of tire, a ton of tire. And four-wheel drive, of course. It's a crew cab, so we'll be able to pack everybody in here. You'll have quite the tire on it, and it will have quite the space in the bed. So we'll see what we can do with it. Sorry, buddy. You alright?
Yeah, I need that. Heavy!
Slide off on the hub.
It's gonna be a lot. Is it?
There's a dude that will make them. So basically what we're looking at here is we have a dually rear end, right? So you normally run your wheel mounting surface a little bit narrower on a dually. So when we go to put this big super single wheel on there, essentially the offset or the track width of the truck in the rear is now way too narrow with them flipped like this. It's common for everybody just to flip the wheels. We're doing that. We don't prefer to do that. We don't really want to do that 100% just because we want that same aesthetic of having the beadlock ring shown on the front. But for time's sake, and I mean, it's mostly just time right now, for our schedule's sake, we're just going to flip them and run them flipped. This new track width with them flipped is equal to the width of the napide flatbed that we're going to be utilizing to build our Dovetail car hauler bed. So that's our solution for now. We might revisit this later and come up with a new rear wheel alternative just to get more of a matching aesthetic from the front to the back. But for now, for the sake of getting this thing done and getting to use it for what the truck's built for, we're going to just flip them.
Okay, we got our chassis in here. Standard Chevy 6500 four-wheel drive. This one has 120 inches between the cab and the back of, or the center of the axle. We're about 14 feet on the frame, 14 to 16 feet on the frame length. Our only issue is this bed out here we got is, we've had this thing sitting around in our inventory for like 5 years. This is 20 feet. So we've got an extra 5 feet that's too long. This is a great big heavy bed. Most of these go on big internationals or Peterbilts, Kenworth, stuff like that. They use them for delivering lumber, kind of your standard delivery truck. So yeah, we're gonna have to take and kind of modify this thing. We're gonna cut it off at the back 5 feet and make it into a dovetail so you can drive up on it and on. And yeah, I think this truck and this bed are not the best fit, but we'll make it fit. It's gonna work out pretty sweet.
It literally is 2 cranes, 2 mines to pick this up because both those cranes don't operate at the same speed at all. This crane's extremely fast. This one's extremely slow. So it's just like watching me and Aaron work together at the same time. It's just like, I'm not gonna let you know which one's fast and which one's slow. You can figure that out for yourself. But like, Aaron's over here on the fast crane, I'm over here on the slow crane. It's usually what it looks like.
All right, so basically, ignore this cut on the frame. I'm gonna clean this up, right? Don't worry about that. I just cut the section off. We did a 10-degree cut here. So we're basically going to have 2 miter cuts. And our goal is, imagine this on the other side. So we're gonna turn the frame down like this, right? And we're gonna have back-to-back miter cuts. I'm gonna bevel this, weld this back up, and then I'll do like an overlay gusset plate. Some people call them fish plates. I don't know why, don't care. But what I'll do is I'll get this put on, we'll run this down, get this all welded up, take the bed, we'll set it up. The bed's gonna be straight. I'm gonna relief cut miters in the bed channels, pull it down to the frame. We'll weld all that back up, get it all cleaned up, finalize it, and then we will have a dovetailed 20-foot flatbed. We don't want our ramp angle to be too steep. We want to be able to just drive on up, not have an issue. That's why we're dovetailing the bed. We're going to use an 8-foot aluminum ramp with a 8,000 pound rating per ramp, but 8 feet still is going to require us to drop this height down. This truck is so tall. You'll see it when it's together. It's so tall. That's why we got to dovetail this thing. TJ got the U-bolts all pulled out and the lift blocks pulled out. What our plan is to level the truck. We don't want to lift the front. This thing's already atrociously tall. It sits about 2.5 inches higher in the back. These leaf springs aren't going to compress that much, even with the weight of a vehicle back here. So what we're going to end up doing is just removing said block, and we're going to go have U-bolts made. I used to go to a place here in Salt Lake. Somebody, I don't have time, but we'll send somebody down there to see if they can make us some shorter U-bolts. Basically what we need to do, since the block is now out, we're gonna need U-bolts that have threading up here, and they will be shorter. They'll be, I think, 2 inches shorter to be exact. So now that this is gone, we need more threads, we need new U-bolts, and we need to evaluate to see if we need to modify the shock mounts a little bit so they don't completely compress on themselves. We'll check that when we're all done. So, yeah. Yeah, there you go. You know what to do? No? Yeah. New U-bolts. Sweet. I don't know where the Chevy dealership is though. I think that's over there in Bountiful also.
Yeah, there's one Bountiful.
Sweet.
Why do we need brake lines, TJ?
Don't show the.
Because I broke a brake line.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun, dun. The world is ending.
Get this thing fitted. We're gonna need like a piece of material I have one clamp out, I think. It's gonna take both of us to hold it up here and get it there though. You got a frame to tack! Sam! I think he took off on us. We're gonna turn this into a, what would we call it? Like a labor camp. Sam! We need you.
Slave camp?
Slave, no, don't use that word, man. What? I went to law school. I haven't. I went to court a couple times. Learned some things in there, though. You can start clamping up that other side while I cut this side if you want.
All right.
I mean, so if you're feeling up to it. I want to see what kind of skills you have. The skills to pay the bills.
I got skills.
What do you think about your weld, Sam?
It's alright.
Just all right?
It's gonna get grinded out anyway.
What do you guys think about Sam's welding? Give him $1 per hour rate. You ever seen those?
What's my worth?
What's my worth? What's my worth? I'll tell you 45.
People on YouTube are gonna roast me. They're gonna be like, you owe me money.
I just watched this.
You know what we call that? We call that FAF. Factory is
Is that what you've been thinking about?
Yeah, that's factory. I didn't do I didn't even touch it. Just came like that.
Ready, Sam?
What are we doing? You can't just fucking...
Oh. Well, Sam finished relief cutting the bed. We're just gonna try to lower the crane. We're gonna see if it bends. I'm gonna stand over here and just help it bend. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll make some more cuts and probably use a torch to heat up the plate, but we'll see what happens.
Aaron doesn't think it's gonna bend. It's gonna bend.
You think it's gonna bend?
Guarantee it.
Okay, let's see what bends at. Oh, how's it look? Terrible or good? Yep. Oh, no, this is scary.
Looks like you were right about the angle cut.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Look at that. Funny.
There we go.
Look at that. That's real nice.
Not bad. Nothing we can't clean up, right? How's it for welding? Really? When I'm on it?
You stand on?
Yeah, or you can even just barely lean on it, probably. Oh, that looks perfect. I mean, a little itty bitty cleanup with the cutoff wheel, and then it'll be no gap at all.
Give me an assessment, Sam.
So we just cut some relief cuts. You know, I didn't really know like how well it was gonna line up, but that's mint. That is whew, perfect.
Damn, that's a perfect.
Yeah. That's what we cut out. That's where I landed. Just according to plan.
It was.
Personally, I almost want to like make a step and have this sprinklers on this section, and then come up like 3/8 and put a big.
So they're trying to put the hitch in for the gooseneck. And I'm trying to figure out how far back it should go because I don't even know how long the goose's neck is. If you know how long the goose's neck is, comment down below.
What about a swan neck? Maybe we can do a swan neck trailer.
Swan necks? I've never heard of a swan neck.
Swan neck might have a longer neck.
We went with the beadlock wheel for a couple reasons. One, that's what's available. Two, it's always nice to be able to air down as much as we can and not have to worry about the tires slipping off the bead of the wheel. With these Michelins, they got a pretty thick sidewall. It's extremely thick and sturdy. If we ever got this thing out in sand or anything else, it'd be pretty key for us to air down and try to get some more surface area on the ground, get traction. With the beadlocks, we can do that, not have to worry about popping a bead off the wheel and having a bad day. All right, so the front tires aren't gonna fit. Rear tires aren't gonna fit either unless we cut some stuff. So we're gonna have TJ today work on basically cutting the front bumper and then also cutting the rear fender section here. He's gonna start off by pulling off the fender, and he's gonna just do a rough cut on the front bumper, and then he's gonna work the fender until it fits back onto the truck, and then we'll check with the steering clearances and everything else. It's pretty common to have to do this on just about anything. I did it on the Heavy D's Dodge, did it on TRX. I mean, we always end up having to do some kind of cab or bumper modifications to fit larger tires. This one is gonna have to move a lot of metal and fiberglass and plastic. Should be fun. I'm glad I'm not doing it.
Alright, so now we're just making some frame extensions for the hauler. Gotta extend the frame just because the bed's a lot longer than the actual truck frame. So, let's get it. we got everything lined up. Just gonna weld everything in, fry it in there all good. Then we're gonna add some fish plates to make sure everything continues to stay level. Also mounts it from the bed to the frame of the truck, and it will be nice.
So we're setting this thing back down on its tires, pulling all the stands out from underneath of it. We just had to take a quick little break, clean up shop, get all our tools in order, basically come up with a plan for last little bit of this. Sam's gonna work on the hitch, TJ's gonna work on the front, clearancing for tires some more, and I'm gonna finish up this headache rack design. But yeah, we just had to get a little shop reset in, so that's what we're doing now. I mean, it's kind of cool to get a visual on the truck for the first time, since we haven't seen it with all its wheels and tires on it yet.
Any plans for the headache rack?
I think on the headache rack, we're gonna go with a... Ay caramba. Hold on. There we go. All right. I think on the headache rack, we're going to do a tubular style headache rack with a roof basket, and that way we can throw stuff up there. We can keep it simple on the fabrication side. I'd say simple, but it'll be simpler than a plate structure headache rack.
Check the shirt out. What do you think? Any of you out there like Wheeler Walker Jr.?
I guarantee there's a few people out
There's
there.
a race car number 69.
What does he call himself? The two different things that I mean. If you know what Wheeler Walker Jr. calls himself, hit us up in the comments.
Hey, it's on the ground. Look at this thing.
I'm good. I've seen stuff like that happen too many times.
It is big. It's very big.
Had a ride.
Not that bad. I mean, we only got it up probably like 40. So we'll see when it gets on the highway, but it didn't feel that bad. Like tires didn't feel bad. Like they feel bad when you're going slow. You like feel the squareness of the tread, but as soon as it gets going, you don't feel it. So we'll see.
You think some miles will turn them out?
Probably. Kind of glad I'm seeing this, just because I started the headache rack design, and I don't know if we're gonna haul a full-size truck like this, it's probably gonna sit on the Dovetail. Yeah, we know. But yeah, if we're gonna haul a full-size truck like this, it's probably gonna sit on the Dovetail, so we have clearance for the headache rack and everything else up front. But yeah, I mean, it's a big truck hauling another big truck.
We're up on definitely hitting.
Definitely gonna be cutting all the way to the bump stops.
Either if
We'll cut in the bed regardless. Once you load it, it's over with. Especially if we're gonna go to liquid spring. Like,
if we go liquid spring, we shouldn't need to do anything. I think it needs to come up on the back end anyway.
yeah, we're gonna put the blocks back in, but you have to clearance for tires. That's suspension compression. The bed looks smaller with a full truck on it, to me.
That's a 20-foot bed. Truck's 20 feet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It went up
How long is a
easy.
fat truck?
Hmm?
100,
Fat trucks.
110 inches or something?
140. So what is that? That's like a little. That's almost 12 feet.
So we might be able to get two of those on there. One parked on the bottom of the Dovetail.
All right, the 6500 project is, I would say, 40% done. We've got the bed on, dovetail fabricated. We've got the wheels and tires on, making them fit. Got to make some space in the back too, but we're getting there. And what we still need to do, we got some suspension upgrades coming. We've got the roof rack, headache rack, wrap, whole bunch of details, but we should be done in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So like that involves us moving the shop as well. So hopefully we can get this into the working order so we can actually use it to move a lot of the heavier equipment in the shop. So until then, guys, stay tuned.